2018. That's 100,000 more than the year before. There's also been a spike in the rate of newborn deaths due to congenital syphilis. Dr. Elizabeth Tironi is an epidemiologist at the CDC, and she's one of several people who worked on this report. Doctor, welcome.
Thank you.
And this trend has been going on for some years now, but it looks like through your report that the numbers have reached new highs. How long ago?
The 2018 STD surveillance report documents the fifth consecutive year of increases in rates of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis, which are three common sexually transmitted diseases. Combined, more than 2.4 million infections were diagnosed and reported in 2018 alone. This report also provides new data on congenital syphilis, which is one of the most tragic consequences of this growing STD epidemic, and documents that there were 1,306 cases of congenital syphilis reported in 2018, which is 40% increase in just 1 year.
Well, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Because that sounds serious, congenital syphilis. Looks like a lot of these cases were concentrated mostly in Sunbelt states like Florida, Texas, California, Arizona, and Louisiana. What does it mean? How dangerous is that to an infant?
Congenital syphilis is one of the most tragic consequences of this growing STD epidemic. Of the 1,306 cases, there were 94 congenital syphilis-related deaths. All of these deaths were preventable. We have the tools to prevent congenital syphilis. We just need to make sure that they're being implemented and taking urgent action to break this cycle of increases in STDs in the United States.
Can we take a look at why this is happening? Your report suggests that the use of condoms is falling. Why would that be?
So we have data that suggests that some of the populations most vulnerable to STDs, such as young adults and men who have sex with men, have had decreases in condom use over time. We don't know why there have been those changes in behaviors. What we do know is that there are opportunities to prevent the adverse consequences of STDs. All STDs are treatable, most are curable, and all are preventable. Although most STDs are asymptomatic, which means that most people don't even know they have one. And that's why screening is so important to really halt this epidemic.
Another issue is that there have been big cuts to STD programs around the country. The CDC says half of local clinics have seen these cuts. Clinics have closed as a consequence. Less screening, therefore, is happening. What's going on there? Why is the money drying up?
So we know that there's a number of factors that can affect how well programs are funded. What I can say is that the consequences of decreased funding can really affect the most vulnerable communities. For many people who are at risk of STDs, they don't have a medical home or they may not have medical insurance. And those state and local health departments provide a safety net for those persons who get STD preventive care.
Do you think you somehow point in the country now that take anything away?
And additionally, don't even recognize that STDs are common in their communities, and a person's chance of contracting an STD is also a matter of how much prevalence of STDs are sexually active. So say, for example, if you have one sex partner, in their sexual network in their community, there's a lot of STDs. Even with just one partner, they may be at increased risk. And often it's not about the person's risk behaviors, but it's about their partner's risk behavior.
That's Dr. Elizabeth Tironi. She's an epidemiologist at the CDC who worked on this new report that came out this week showing that a record high number of new STD cases have been reported in the United States. Doctor, thanks for joining us.
Great, thank you so much.
It's a jobs program that pays people who are homeless
Along on Facebook.
to work. And in the past 6 months, 25 trips to pick up trash, and in the process, get access to other important services. Paul Atkins is a pastor with Canvas Community Church, which organizes the program for the city. Paul, welcome.
Glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. And Renisha Foxworth, who had experienced homelessness and had gotten involved in this program. Renisha, it's good to speak with you. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
And Paul, why don't we start with you? The city apparently thought this jobs program was worth keeping. Tell me how it works.
The basic idea is we pick up 8 people, either from our church or from a local day resource center, or folks who are actively panhandling, and they go pick up trash around the city, different sites the city has assigned to us, or sites that we just find and decide we need to clean up. We provide lunch. We have a conversation about where they want to go next in life, and see if there's a way we can help them get there. The day's work or day's pay, and access to resources that will help them get to the next step to create the life that they want.
Have you been able to help people get a permanent job after this?
Yes, it's kind of a big funnel. Well over 400 people have participated in the program. Some of them are not looking for anything other than a day's work and a day's pay, which is fine. That's a fair trade. But others, we help them address a legal issue, get back on good terms with their parole officer. We get them some addiction treatment or mental health services. And then we're focused on also the employer part. And we have had some success with some folks getting full-time work, including some that are working with the city now, driving a dump truck. One happened to be homeless with a commercial driver's license. So that was an easier one than some of the others. And this is a long-term process, which is, I think, one of the reasons the city wanted to keep with us. Our friends' lives didn't become the way they are overnight, and it's going to take a lot of long-term relational love and care work to address people's needs, to get them those lives.
Renisha, let's bring you into the conversation, because you are the person this program is designed to help, and it sounds like it has helped you already. Tell me about your experience with it.
Well, Pastor Paul helped me with employment services, and he had let me fill out an application for St. James Baptist Church, where I could work in a daycare, because I love kids. Also, he has given me and my boyfriend, which is Corey Edmondson, bus passes to last from the beginning of the month to the end of the month, and I thank God for that, because without that, I wouldn't know how to move around.
And it sounds like you can make something, not a ton of money, but you can make something like $37 a day.
Yeah, I can make $37.
Yeah, what's that mean for you?
I use that $37 to give me an idea, stuff like that, stuff that I need, and it helps a lot.
Other than making some money on the days that you worked, what has this program meant to you? I mean, do you think it might lead to something more, something better?
Yeah, it could lead to something better too, with the money that I made from Bridge to Work program. It helped me grow and be more responsible. I was still looking for a job. I had finally found one, but that didn't work out, so
Okay.
I'm still looking. I'm not gonna give up, and it's still hard, but it gets better day by day.
Are you feeling more optimistic about the future now?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I see greater things, and a lot of doors opening up for me and my boyfriend.
Paul Atkins, can you jump in here and just, what are your thoughts on what Renisha's story tells you about how this program can work?
Renisha doesn't face a lot of the barriers that other people have, but she's up against homelessness itself, because some of the jobs that she's looked at are very difficult to get to on the bus line. So as much as a blessing as the bus fare is, still that makes it difficult to get to work, get to interviews, and keep those things going once you do get a job.
Yeah.
But part of the thing that I think Renisha illustrates is that you and I may have grown up with all sorts of people in our corner: teachers, parents, clergy people, neighbors. But Renisha's got Corey, and now she's got us to try to recreate a little bit of that community of support that kept me going as a young person, and hopefully will keep Renisha going so that she didn't get discouraged and give up.
Well, and now it sounds like the city is pulling for you and Renisha too, because they've extended funding for another year. And look, the city of Hot Springs, Arkansas, not far from you, is looking into starting its own program like this. But how do you take that to another level? From giving people a few bucks for a few hours of work to making a major step towards getting them permanently off the streets?
Well, this has been a big team effort, certainly. We've partnered with our local shelter, Our House, our local day resource center, Jericho Way, the Goodwill Industries, our workforce development office, and all these different agencies working together is beginning to create that network where we know where to help people plug in for whatever kind of work they're looking for.
That's Paul Atkins, a pastor with Canvas Community Church, and Renisha Foxworth, who has participated in and benefited from Little Rock's Bridge to Work program. Thanks to you both, and good luck.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And you're listening to Here and Now.
Here and Now continues on 90.9 WHYY, your NPR member station. It's 1:31. Good afternoon. I'm Dave Heller.
Supporting WHYY, AIDS Walk Philly. What if you had HIV and needed a place to turn? What if a paid electric bill or help with a new apartment could make a world of difference? You can be a lifeline in the fight against HIV at the 33rd Annual AIDS Walk Philly on Sunday, October 20th. Proceeds of the 5K walk help those most vulnerable right here in our region. Registration at aidswalkphilly.org or 215-731-WALK. And Mount Cuba Center, a beautiful botanical garden in Newcastle, Delaware, invites listeners to go behind the scenes and experience Mount Cuba's wilder side. On Friday, October 12th, visitors can enjoy hayrides and hike through Mount Cuba's natural lands in their full autumn glory. Visitors can also explore these beautiful natural lands guided by knowledgeable docents. More information at mountcubacenter.org/WHYY. That's mtcubacenter.org/WHYY.
Turkish forces have pressed into northern Syria after crossing the border yesterday. Turkish airstrikes and artillery are clearing the way with reports that their ground forces seized at least one village. The latest on the offensive, still ahead this hour on Here and Now.
Funding for Here and Now comes from the listeners of WBUR Boston and your NPR station. From Mind Body, where wellness and people meet, with thousands of fitness classes to find and book in one place. Studios can join the network at mindbodyonline.com/NPR. And Postersmith, printing posters on wrinkle-resistant foldable fabric that transports flat for conference presentations. Postersmith provides its service to research communities worldwide. Learn more at postersmith.com.
This is Here Now from NPR and WBUR. I'm Jeremy Hobson. American Airlines said this week it is going to keep the Boeing 737 MAX grounded until mid-January. The planes have been grounded for months after two fatal crashes that killed a total of 346 people.